Hi, Mr. Will. My name is Jatin, and I know you have done a workshop with Bimal. If you can please tell me, starting with who you are and what exactly you do, and then I'll go over the questions with you.
Great, love the opportunity. I'm William Dearth. I'm the founder and managing partner of YTMS. Plan your work, work your plan is our motto. Basically helping South Florida small businessmen with their market expansion or exit strategies for their business. Done that based upon over 100,000 hours of human resource experience that I honed in the corporate world, state governments, international labor unions, but now focused on South Florida's solopreneurs or small businessmen.
Nice. And what would you say? Would you prefer or bend more towards marketing strategy or exit strategy? What's your favorite, and what do you lean more towards?
Well, you know, and I know Bimal knows, that God has a good plan. He gives you two of these and only one of these. So
Right.
tendency, I listen to what my clients need. Now, recently, they've been telling me that they're trying to find that new passion.
Right.
So it's been the exit strategy, going from what they were in their work life, trying to get that 80 hours a week, and now what am I going to do in retirement? So it really has been exit strategy most frequently.
Okay, got it. And since you worked with Bimal very briefly, what is the biggest difference you have seen as a result of working with Bimal, and how do you feel about your leadership after the experiences with Bimal's coaching and workshops?
When any of my clients, or even when I'm out networking and making people for the first time, I hope I give them a sense of confidence that I speak with such authority. But I realized during my coaching with Bimal that when I speak, I'm only repeating things I already know. But when I listen, Bimal basically opens up a huge world of possibilities and different courses of action that I hadn't even thought about before.
Nice, okay. So that it's like you know something, you want to impart that knowledge, but in imparting that knowledge, you kind of forget the receiving of the knowledge from the other side of their challenges, which gives you more ideas of how to work with them.
I will tell you that over the last 6 months, I've probably uttered this phrase more often to people I'm meeting for the first time, as well as my existing clients. And I forget the phrase just for a moment. It's going to come back to me.
That's fine.
What do I want to do? I do that. Ask your question again.
Like when you impart knowledge, when you tell people how to improve their time management, and in doing that you have so much knowledge that you start speaking, but then at that time you forget what their challenges are, because they never get that opportunity to speak and say, because every challenge is so unique with every different customer.
I try and encourage everyone that I meet to carry on a conversation, dialogue. So listen more than you speak, because when you're constantly telling people about yourself or about your ideas or about your business, you're really having a monologue. And in a monologue, you're not getting the feedback. You really don't know if you could grab their attention. You don't know if you've really even hit their hot buttons.
Right.
So definitely you want to make it a dialogue. Ask the questions. Too many of my clients make statements. I suggest that at the end of every statement, comma, what do you think?
Okay.
You've totally changed the perspective and get the people back in.
Right. And that you realized by working with Bimal or looking at this style of
Comma,
coaching.
get everybody involved, because you really don't know that you're both connecting.
Right.
We got all these pressures, all these issues that are running through our brain.
Right.
It's tough many times, especially with technology, to get everything focused and be in the moment with what the task is at hand.
Got it. Okay. And what is the financial and the entrepreneurial impact Bimal's coaching has made on you and your business, and how do you feel about your business and your team after going through his workshops and coaching?
Let me address those in reverse.
Okay.
Second one first. How do we feel about it in my team? Extraordinary.
Okay.
In large part, it wasn't new information.
True.
It reminds us that which we already knew.
Right.
But his system basically makes sure you have a daily process that you basically reintroduce all those things you knew work.
Doesn't let you forget.
Doesn't let you forget, and then also introduces you to new ideas going forward. Bimal has always under-promised and over-delivered for me. I haven't even been in the program probably 8 months at this point. My expectation that I would double in probably 6 months and quadruple in a year's time. Well, I'm already at 3.5 times revenue, just 8 months in. So I'm very satisfied.
Oh, good. Nice to know that. And what are your thoughts about employees' productivity and performance before and after Bimal's coaching and workshops? If possible, please present a before and after scenario. Like, just give me an example as well. Productivity going up, obviously it has to be a teamwork and it won't happen. So I see that, you kind of answer that question. But if you can give me an example that what happened before you met Bimal and what changes you made or you fine-tuned, because you yourself as a smart guy, I'm sure you know your ways around, but because of some ideas that Bimal gave you, you fine-tune your employees and their scheduling and, the magic happens.
I think a lot of it, I'd always incorporated communicating the vision, creating the plan, setting benchmarks so that individuals in the team knew what they were supposed to do, when they were supposed to do it. But he's taught me a better way of holding people accountable. I have previously had a tendency to be more dictatorial, and maybe I was downgrading them. Bimal basically has turned that around and say, hey, you got to find ways actually to pull them up. Actually, if you look at my business plan that I carry around with me now, on the front of my folder, it's 2 mountaineers in silhouette with one leaning down to help the other one up.
Nice.
And that picture helps me and my staff always remember, by working as a team and helping one another up,
right,
you'll be much more productive.
So, perfect. And the last question, what would your recommendation be to someone who's considering hiring or thinking about hiring Bimal as their business coach? And a lot of times business coaching is not a need, it's a want for most of the business owners. And once they do the workshop, they realize the opposite, that actually this is a need and not a want. So you're so engrossed in your own work that you never realize that an outside perspective is going to help you so much more. So if you can please share with us some of the qualities that make Bimal a perfect fit as a coach to people who are considering to hire him.
Well, my recommendation would be to do it today, if not sooner. Every day you delay, we've seen technology squash the information age. I know that when I went to high school, my science textbook was my father's college textbook. That textbook, now my kids in junior high are dealing with, and maybe next month they'll introduce that to nursery school. All right, so there is this huge compression, and we, I think in general, think that technology, and maybe AI specifically, is going to improve the productivity of our employees, thereby increasing the profitability of our organizations. Without a doubt, you want to get Bimal involved so you can put together your 1 to 5 year plan as to how you're going to let your competitors' adoption of technology potentially undermine what you've already established. So I definitely can recommend Bimal in that process, because there are a lot of things that you don't think about, that you haven't had to think about. Yeah. But technology is just opening up these worlds to you, and you really need that outside source to plant those seeds.
It's like remind you to ask a question that you don't even know that you have to ask.
Unfortunately, as I get older, I realize how little I know.
Huh. Great. And anything else that you would like to add from your side? What would be a nice way for you to connect to people? Who should we show this video in particular, so that you can connect with them and maybe something can happen between you and the person who's going to watch the video?
Well, it kind of falls in the category, what's a good referral for me?
Right, it is.
The easiest thing I can say is, if you ever have said yourself, or if you've ever heard recently, I don't have time to train you to do that, it'd be quicker and better for me to do it myself. Call me, because that individual has missed an opportunity to be godlike. Your time management system, YTMS, we basically show you ways how you can create time in your future.
Right. Wow. Perfect. That's great. Thank you
Appreciate
so much.
the time.
Yes. We're gonna make this, cut it out, and then